Welcome to the Neen Valley Role-Playing Association, a group of friends who like to play RPGs. Let's role-playing games and try and have fun. If you like the video, please like and subscribe.
Hey, well, new to you. And of course, you had to indulge in a little violence to take it off the pirates who were on board. And you probably need to be careful about letting any other pirates know that you have it. But hey, you know, the other two ships that were with it were destroyed. So yeah, maybe the Crimson Sun will think that they all got destroyed. At least that's the story that you're going to tell, the one that you'll put about. So now you're in space, flying through Wildspace. 2 straight days of flying back to Craxis. And it's given you time to clean up, tidy the place, dispose of all the crap left by the pirates, clean off some of the insignias on the side, and generally just sort of tidy the place up. You've been using the mending cantrip a lot. And with Shaggy's seemingly endless inventiveness for how to repair stuff, organise stuff, and sort things out, you've pretty much made the ship your own. Okay. Are you planning to do anything other than that on the way back to Craxis? No. Good. Excellent. Let's carry on. Craxis is a tiny dot in the distance. As you pilot the ship in, JL, you are flying, as you've mostly been flying throughout this process, although everyone else has flown a little bit. But again, you are flying in towards Craxis. And you see off to starboard a shape looming, and you realise that it's lava coming in towards you. Fast. Very, very fast. She goes from being just a tiny little patch of blotting out the background to looming above you very, very rapidly. And you slow the ship as she gets closer. And as she comes in, you see her spin around and her enormous eye casts over the vessel. And you feel
Hello.
You feel her mind reach out towards you. And you feel her presence, not just the sheer physical bulk of this enormous creature flying alongside you, but you feel the pressure of her mind as she probes. What is this ship? Who is this? Unknown, strange. And then she connects to your mind, JL, and you feel that little psychic connection between the two of you. And that aggressive concern that you felt from her just evaporates away. And she turns and starts to arc back out into space.
Protecting him.
Flying in
Craxus,
towards... I beg your pardon?
I said protecting Craxus. Got it.
Yeah.
Very good.
Flying in towards Craxis. And as you approach, You are conscious that the Rhaegar ship is still there. It's still sitting in the port. You're concerned that this ship is unknown, and you're not quite sure what's going to happen. But as you approach a spare berth on the dockside, you see someone signaling to you.
As in, what sort of signal? Come this way, go away.
One of the brain. I wish my brain would work sometimes. I do apologize. It's very not in a good place at the moment. So one of the dock administrators, the people that you've met before, who take your port money and your port fees and manage the dock space, he's actually stood on the dock with a couple of semaphore flags, and he's indicating. JL, can you understand semaphore?
I don't know. Possibly.
I'm not sure that was a language option when we created that character sheets.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that one on the charts.
I think given your it wasn't a language option. It's not a language.
You can do a roll.
I'm very,
Lovelaw
I'm very experienced with flags.
You'd like to think that they keep disappearing.
I know. One day, just one day.
There's this, and every time they disappear, Lovelaw says, "I don't know." Every time.
I don't really know.
I don't.
Sorry, Varo. Varo says, "I don't know." Lovelaw, you do. So you're reading this, and it's and the indication is not to land here, but to land. Well, the way it's phrased is land at the back. And you pass that on to JL, who JL
Absolutely.
where to go. And what you do is you basically pick the ship up and you fly across, literally just across the port and down and over the buildings and back. And you can see a lot of people are very concerned about this, because normally no one would fly across the top of a port like this. It just is not done. And you're low enough that you create a bit of a breeze for a few of the folks down below as well.
We may be
Yeah,
getting
and we don't realise that we didn't scrape off the crimson sun markings on the underside of the ship.
Yes, you did. The one good thing you did do is you did go around the whole ship and make sure that there were no markings left on it.
But there might be some paperwork coming our way.
That's funny.
So you land in the little private dock at the back, and you all disembark. Apart from JL, who has disappeared off into her. She landed. You saw that she came out off the helm, out the helm, and then she disappeared off into her cabin. And you're like, well, where's she gone? So you're all stood on the deck waiting for her to come out.
She's getting herself ready for the fancy fella in the palace.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Oh. Lost Anthony.
Hello? JL, what happens when you appear then?
What do you think? Well, yes, she comes out wearing. She was getting ready, yes.
Okay.
Wearing a rather nice purple embroidered. I don't know what the phrase is. Jewel encrusted, not well. It's kind of got sparkly bits on it. Purple dress, which you've never seen before, and it's a bit more dramatic than the green one with the bow she had last time she went for a wander.
Okay, who's going to wolf whistle?
What
I
you
would-
can't
I would
get
never.
is where the dickens she got this dress from. I mean,
We're going
was she
to-
carrying it around in her pack? Perhaps.
Well-
But how did it fit? This thing is. There's lots of it.
Yes.
Did she find it on the ship and just sort of take it off and adjust it, fiddle with it, or something? I mean, where did this come from? None of you can work this out.
When
It was
when
in
you
the pirate captain's cabin. There was a hidden wardrobe full
No
of
doubt.
many fine gowns.
This was one she brought with her. This was one.
so
Not
when,
many fine gowns.
when one says that there's a lot of the fabric, how much more is there that she actually needs? Because I'm thinking that would be fantastic for my pirate flag.
It really wouldn't. It's completely the opposite of that.
You can
No,
have the headpiece.
you-
but she's
We've
not
got
wearing that.
people with green eyes, you know. I mean,
I'm just thinking. There's not many flags out there that are trimmed with lace.
Yeah. This being the problem, it is very, very, very lacy.
Yeah. Our flag means death.
Our flag means death.
Yeah.
Politely.
Hmm.
And looking good whilst doing it.
Yes.
So as you kind of step down off the ship, the Hadazee that you are used to dealing with is kind of stood at that back door, which leads down into his space. He's, as per usual, he's just got a cigar in his mouth. He's chewing this edge of the cigar, and he takes it out, blows out a big cloud of smoke. You know where you're going, right?
Yeah. Been before.
Right. That's the quickest way. So everyone follows JL, who seems to know exactly where she's going. Dan, if you sort of along through some corridors, dug into the rock, across a few streets, through a number of doors, and then up some steps and into Salnam's quarters.
That guard isn't on duty again, is he, at the door? Because he's going to have a heart attack.
Yeah, he is actually. He's
Oh, no.
manning the gate, yeah, and he sees you, and he can't. He just stutters as you walk past. Yeah, he's completely smitten with you every time you turn up. Yeah, poor lad. So you you knock on the door, and the door is opened by this enormous gif who's smartly dressed. He's wearing a dark blue military coat and plain black trousers and polished boots, and he's wearing a little pair of gold-rimmed glasses, sort of perched on the end of his nose, and he kind of lifts his nose and looks at you.
Sorry, did
Brilliant.
you say they're perched on the end of his nose?
Well, they're perched a bit further down.
I was going to say, a Gith doesn't have much of a nose, do they?
Yes.
No.
Have a
I'm
lot
thinking
of
that.
nose, in fact. Lots of beakage for a
I'm
gift.
picturing it. That's a long way from his eyes.
Yeah, that's why
Oh,
they're
I'm
only
thinking.
so
Sorry,
much
yeah,
out
yeah.
all the
No,
way to the
I'm
end.
thinking. I'm thinking
Yes.
different. Yeah, sorry.
You're forgetting what a GIF is.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Gith Yankee.
GIF Yankee. No. That's a different thing. Yeah,
Very
a GIF is
different,
a GIF. GIF look a lot like uh, hippo people, if you like.
GIF. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I shall look them up. Spelljammer? Or
Spelljammer.
not? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, there we are.
They're
GIF.
in the chapter 1 character options. Have a look at the GIF.
Oh, there. Yes, you're right. Yes, I see. Yep.
And he just nods at you and then pulls the door open and stands out of the way. And he just points. That way, he says gently. And points you down the corridor to the main reception room that you've been in before. And then as you've finished coming through the door, he closes the door behind you, all of you. And he turns and he walks back into Salnam's workroom. That's the first door on the right as you come in. And he pushes the door open and walks in. And you see that sort of seated around in there are there's an older human woman with dark skin. There's an elf, a bookish sort of looking elf, who's got very pale skin and white, his hair is white, and he's sat next to the woman, and they seem to be talking. And then this GIF, and he just sort of walks in, and he looks back at you as you kind of all sort of peek in the door briefly. And he just nods and then he closes the door. He goes into the room and closes the door behind him, shutting out whatever is going on in this room. You walk along and you're about to turn into the room. The door, which you saw was slightly open, is pulled open, and Salnam says, "Come in, please." You see there's chairs lined up for you, for all of you to sit down. And by the way, I'm assuming at this point that Monty is not with you. Is that correct, Rob?
Monty is on the ship, so correct.
Okay. All right. Excuse me. So you go into the room and you have chairs to the left, ready for you. So you've all got a chair to sit in, and on the right-hand side of the room, sitting in 3 chairs, are 3 Rigar. And Salnam invites you to sit, and then she stands in the center of the room. "My friends," she says, looking at the Rigar, "I promised you that those who were involved would come back and let you know what had happened as best they can. They are here now, ready to speak, and they will tell you what they have discovered." And she steps back, and one of the Rigar stands, and it says, "Which of you will speak for all?"
We all look at JL.
I look at Varo.
Ah. Oh yes, I could do it.
Sorry, so what happens?
We all look at JL.
Yes.
Yeah,
I can
I
do
have.
this.
All right. JL, are you standing?
Yes. Gets up and then gives a kind of a bow to everybody.
The Rigo who stood bows in return.
Hmm.
Strange creatures. Imagine a human, female. The general body shape, but perhaps more straight up and down, slender. They have very soft features, and their skin, one of them has skin that is has a series of sort of blotches, spots on it, for want of a better way of putting it. The one that is stood and the other one have striped skin. But you notice that the skin color shifts slightly every so often. You think perhaps they have the ability to change the skin color. And their hair, all of them have, it looks like hair, you assume it's hair, these big kind of wavy hair that sort of stands up and almost seems to waft in the wind. It's very strange. Perhaps it isn't. Perhaps it's something else on top of their heads. Please proceed, the standing Rhaegar said.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to apologise for our involvement in what happened. We picked up the crate when after as part of looking for work, and nobody seemed to know anything about it. It was urgently requested, urgently delivered, and everyone seemed to want to be rid of it. So we did we fulfilled this contract, and that's when things went a bit weird. It was a difficult voyage with this container. It was making some strange noises, which seemed to be an illusion. And it seemed to affect us mentally, so we distanced ourselves from it to complete the voyage rather than meet the same fate that the previous carriers did. But yes, that's when we got very messy. It was delivered to a military installation on shelter. And we met the Perigo family, or at least one of the Perigo family. She didn't offer us any sandwiches, which I was very annoyed about. But she did try to have us killed. Thankfully, we managed to talk our way out of there, and it's a good job we didn't kill her in the end, but we didn't know who she was at the time. Yes, there was an ensuing battle in space when we left as well, so we've only just made it out of there. And then, yes, we came back to find that it may have been one of your people that had been contained in the box. And then we went off on some more investigations. We looked at the old wreckage of the ship that carried it before, and we discovered it had ties to the Crimson Sun pirate group. And then we traced it back to the asteroid field. And we encountered another ship which tried to flee, and then we discovered a hidden outpost. So we landed and had a look around and found one person that was there and seemed very perturbed by what was in this facility. So we ended up having a look, following the trail, and it seems that the Periga family and the Crimson Sun pirates are working together. I expect to bypass trade and legal issues with what they were doing. They appear to be researching various types of weaponry, biological crossbreeding, enhancement. There were oozes there with plasmoids with enhanced abilities and the function to fire strange handheld weaponry, aggressive blink dog type creatures that were teleporting through doors and walls that would attack anything on sight. And they also appear to be developing some kind of large beam weapon or something, because they appear to have testified it on another asteroid, which was showing lots of damage. What they were using this for, what this is all in aid of, I don't know. If it's their war on Shelter, but you would think. But it does raise some concerns about Craxus and Laver and other that we don't want to have happen. And the thing that was the most alarming was they were seemingly breeding mind flayer tadpoles. There was a vat with residue in there that we found. And it appeared to be in some sort of interrogation room. So we fear that may have become of your fellow Rhaegar.
Explain this. You said that they were breeding mind flayer tadpoles, and yet the mind flayer would do this. How does this relate?
Well, maybe not breeding, but we certainly found a container that used to hold mind flayers. As we were leaving, we narrowly avoided a mind flayer vessel, which attacked some of the investigative party reinforcements for the Crimson Sun. They were attacked by what appeared to be a mind flayer vessel.
So what happened to our citizen?
We don't know.
You have no proof that they were there.
Do we have proof? I've forgotten.
Yeah, we found a
Research
thingy, didn't we?
notes.
Oh, we found
research notes.
We did find we found some notes, and I produced the book of notes.
As well as some documentation that we've also found as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
You found
we got the
you found
shipping
the book of notes that
manifest.
said about these things. You found the cell that you were pretty sure that the Rhaegar was held in, and you put that together, and you've even made sketches. You said you were going to make sketches of all of that as well.
Yeah. I think on the 3rd of December it was deemed that we've got enough paper trail to be able to connect a lot of the dots. I think that's how it was put across.
Yes, the research notes indicate the experiments that they were performing on them.
You hand the Rhaegar the notes. The Rhaegar reads a few things, and its look changes from concerned to one of horror. And it closes the notes and it hands it back to one of the other Rhaegar. And it nods. And the other two sort of coming close, and they're flicking through and having a look. And again, you can see that they're just the absolute horror on their faces.
Not the news we wanted to bring.
Is there evidence of our citizen in this place? Do you see any of their belongings?
I remember what we saw.
JM?
Yeah. So the cell was there was a cell that they were holding somebody in.
Right?
But I don't know if there's anything specifically Rigar in there.
Oh,
Yeah, it was specifically Rigar.
there was
You
there
made
was
lots and lots of drawings. Do you remember all the stuff scratched into the walls?
Oh, that was it. Yes, of course.
All the stuff scratched into the walls, yeah?
Yeah.
I've forgotten that.
Yeah, and you
I did-
most of it all.
I
So
remember
you have
drawing it.
sketches.
I forgot what it was. Oh, it's a, was it the kind
Okay,
of-
all right. Sorry,
was it
I was like,
was it the history of was it the history of the like their world and things? The night sky or something, wasn't it?
it was an ocean.
That was yeah. It was a landscape of something. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
The
wasn't there
motion
also fragments of cloth or something at the bottom of the tadpole pool?
no,
I thought there was something that was floating up on top, and when we looked at
there were parts of what you thought were the shell of
right,
tadpole.
okay. I thought it
When it-
was
when it hatches out and then goes for something.
okay.
Yeah.
So we got the drawing and what have you.
Hands over the art, the picture.
All right. So you explained to her about about the cell and the drawings, and you pass over the sketches that you've made. And it's hard. You can tell that the Rigar is looking at these sketches and he's seeing recognition. This isn't just simple things.
She's also included the Olaf's chip in there as well, just to see if there's any reaction.
What? Sorry.
She's also included the one of the Olaf's chip in there, just in case, just to see if there's any reaction.
Oh God, we gotta get chased out of the room now.
Awesome.
This chip was involved
Oh no, that chased us earlier. Sorry, I'll have that one back. Thank you.
whilst you had the crate.
No, but before then, we were carrying some, we were transporting some thrycreen, and this was on our tail.
It just the Rigar looks at you, sort of shakes his head and hands it back over.
I like to sketch.
How did we know? How do you know that this was a Periga facility?
We have documentation from files in the facility with their logo on it.
Yeah, we found the coat of arms, didn't we?
Hmm.
You produce the various bits and pieces and hand
Yeah.
them over. Yeah. Okay. The Rigar turn, and the three of them sort of stand together, and you can see that there is something passing between them. Exactly what that might be is unclear. Unspoken. You don't think that they are communicating telepathically. You think they're just. It's just like a body language thing. They perhaps have communication form that you're not privy to. And you watch them and you watch their behavior, and you can see that they are all extremely upset. And the one that was standing says, "Please sit," to you, JL, and you sit back down. You're like looking. And Salam is fairly impassive. She hops up off the chair at the end of the room that she was sitting at. Thanks. That was comprehensive. The Rigar turn and they look at Salnam. Not Leva. You have done as you said you would, and you have accounted for our citizen. We understand that as our citizen passing beyond your grip was not your fault, nor was it the fault of these adventurers. We do not intend to pursue you for this injustice. This would be unfair. We will seek to pursue Periga and others. We fear what the future may bring with this union. And the lead one turns to you, JL, and walks over and asks you please to stand. You just stand up, and it holds your hands, takes your hands in its hands. My companions and I thank you. We thank you for being candid, for being open, and for doing this for us. We thank you for your apology. What Leva had explained, but you have gone a long way towards giving us understanding. I understand that you have a new ship.
Yes.
Let's go of you. There are things about this ship that would seem strange to you. If you would like the potential of your ship to be unlocked, please visit us. We are on Solvay.
How'd you spell that?
Solvay?
Thank you.
I should probably have mentioned before you grabbed my hand that I did get the space sniffles from one of the pirates.
The space nipples.
Space sniffles.
The space sniffles.
Oh, I can't. It's going around this time of year.
Yeah.
Space sniffles.
I keep hearing that as space nipples, and I can't work out what space nipples are.
The space sniffles. Thank you. I think that would be nice. It's a nice ship. It's fun to fly.
We are on the edge of the Rionash Sea. Visit.
Thank you.
Our shipwrights can help. And with that, the Regard turn, and all three of them just walk from the room and disappear off out down the corridor, and you hear them off down the corridor and out through the front door. Gone. Salam rubs her mop of hair and sort of runs her hair through it, and there's bits of hair sort of sticking out. Wow. Well, that worked out. Well done. What's that ship? Where'd you get that from?
We stole it.
What happened to your ship?
We stole it from the pirates.
we needed some heat, so we decided to burn the ship.
Well, one of the pirates burned our ship, so we took one of theirs.
Oh yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened.
Well,
Can we get a respray?
No, Varo, I like the colours. It's very modern.
Change the number plates.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking about having a number
plate.
plate with a picture of a cock and a picture, as in a chicken cock, male chicken, okay, and then next to it a picture of a nice diamond ring. I thought that would strike the fear in everyone because I don't know whether we're there for chicken baiting or to get married.
It's a finger. You. Yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't thinking bad thoughts, were you?
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
I mean, as a plasmoid, you wouldn't understand how human reproduction works anyway.
No, we've dissected lots, thank you.
You've done a lot of probing, is that what
We've
you're
done
saying?
a lot of anal probing on your cows.
All right. Well, I don't know.
That is a good ship. I can't wait to flag her.
So,
That's not a euphemism either, milady.
So Sal, then, what do you think? What do you think the Regar might do about this?
I
Are
don't
they
think there's
particularly
enough
warlike?
to take Rieger on. But
Yeah.
who knows?
What about the Crimson Sun?
Yeah. If I was the Crimson Sun, I'd be concerned.
Well, it
I
seemed
think
that
Rieger might be taking some revenge in that direction.
yeah.
But what happens when you put a tadpole in a Rieger?
No, nothing good, I
Terrifying
would say.
thought.
Yeah.
I would
The
imagine.
Illithid seemed quite upset with the Crimson Sun as well, so I suspect they got wind of it.
Whatever it was,
Mind players might have a dim view of this.
whatever it
One of
was.
the great things is that we've generally had a détente between the mind flayers and the systems. We've been able to go about our business and get on with our lives, and the mind flayers have stayed in their empire. They've gone on and done their thing. We've gone on and done ours. We've never been strong enough to take them on, and they've never been strong enough really to take us on either.
Well, they're in our neck of the woods now,
years.
that's for sure.
Since any major battles or fights, but yeah.
Well, that was quite some battleship we saw that they had. Let's put it that way.
You saw a mind flayer battleship?
Was it a
What did
battleship?
it look like?
Could you?
We'll
Did you
describe
describe it as a battleship? It was big, wasn't it?
JL sketched it.
It was a Nautilus. It was a standard
massive.
Yeah.
mind flayer ship.
Yeah.
Huge.
However, massive.
Yeah, well, we can sketch it and give an idea of scale and the weaponry it used. Because I mean, it used the tentacles, didn't it? It was like
Yeah.
Hammerhead and
grabbing stuff.
the other one that was obliterated even before that. Why did the Regar call you not labour as opposed to Salmon?
She looks at you and cocks her head. You know the Rieger. Strange.
Mm-hmm. Can I check to see if there's any? Am I getting anything? Can I roll to see if she's?
Yeah.
I
Go
feel
on.
I trust. I know what she's talking about.
Insight.
Insight.
Go on.
Yes.
It's going
I
to
have
be
a
an insight
suspicion.
roll, is it?
I have a suspicion, but I don't know whether it's true.
Mm.
I'm intrigued.
Okay. Your question has obviously touched a nerve. You can tell that it has.
Yeah.
She catches it, and she brushes it off. But it was the question. She wasn't expecting the question. She wasn't. It was almost like she wasn't expecting you to notice
Mm.
the comment, and you can tell that she was probably slightly
Hoping
caught
it'd
off
be-
guard by the fact that they said it and you then noticed.
Mm.
You know, and it's you asking the question that sort of gets to her. There's more to it.
Oh, thank you. I thought that might be the case.
Unquestionably, it points to something, but you can't work out what the something is that it points to.
No, no.
At this stage, it's like it means something, but I can't work out what the meaning is, and she's not going to tell you, or at least she's not going to tell you at this point anyway.
No, not yet.
Clearly, you can tell.
Well, also, I was like, Jael's parents is like, yes, the biggest asset she's got is that she opens her mouth and says things. And the biggest hindrance she's got is that she opens her mouth and says things.
Well, I'm just happy that you showed the Rhaegar the picture of the that ship, and they didn't immediately declare battle. You know.
Yes, exactly.
If it's out of the room and declare us persona non grata.
Yeah. Well, she likes to get, she's good at digging for information, whether people want it to or not. I mean, she wasn't meaning it in a mean way. She was just kind of intrigued by the different naming.
Yeah. Oh, but the other thing about the ship is that they were just, they obviously had some form of recognition of the ship type.
Mm.
But they wanted clarity on whether there was something involved there or not. Now, Sana, excuse me, I have my weekly meeting. My team are waiting for me. I feel like I should give you something or something. Just saying thank you feels a bit lame.
We could waive the dock fees. Be mighty handy.
You can stay in the private dock, and there won't be any dock fees. Of course, there'll never be dock fees for you. Not again. I don't know.
I'll give a little bow when she says that, because that's kind.
Look, if you can think of something, if there's anything I can do that can help, then you know where I am.
Thank
But
you.
do excuse me. For now, help yourself to a drink. And she wanders out the room, and you hear her go next door.
Does that mean we're supposed to wait for her?
I think so.
No,
I think we take our drink and
you can do whatever
leave.
you want.
I think if we're ever asked again what we should be receiving, I think the answer should always be that money is a nice gift that we can use in many different ways.
Yeah.
I just was thinking that might be a good answer next time.
I rubbed my new shield in Lovelaw's face.
Very nice.
Whilst Varo flicks his lovely scarf across his neck
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
Very good.
Whilst Lovelaw stands there and goes, "Oh,
Well, do we need anything in town?
No, but we do need to go and see the old man, don't we? Lovelaw.
That would be nice.
you want to go and
Hopefully
see
he's still
Raras, do
around.
you?"
Let him know.
Well, to tell him that we looked into his little map thing and tell him how dangerous it was. He wasn't a fool to do it himself.
I think he'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
Right.
And then see if he's got any other magic maps.
Yes. Magic Map Man.
Yes.
Which one of these 63 maps can I interest you in next?
Come on,
yeah,
you
right.
old tabby cat.
Rude.
Guess we didn't come out of there with a bunch of money.
You do sort of take 10 because, I mean, basically because it's just been a bit of a whirlwind. You do sit down for sort of 15, 20 minutes and you have a drink and you can hear that you can hear the low hum of conversation coming from the room next door. You heard somebody else come in as well, but you weren't sure. There was the front door opened and somebody went into that room. Somebody else went into that room. You're not quite sure who that was. And so you sit down and just sort of enjoy some nice wine and think about what your next steps are going to be. And you decide that the first thing you're going to do is play Raras a visit. So you head back into town. And you head down to where you know his room is. You think, well, it's sort of midday, and maybe what you'll do is you'll knock on the door and just see if he's in. So you head down and you knock on the door, and the door is opened, and there's another Tabaxi, much younger Tabaxi, stood there. Ah! Tabaxi grins. Hey! Grandfather! It looks like they're back. Come in, friends. Come in. And he greets each of you as each of you come in. Are you all together? We're all 5 of you together, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Probably.
Each of you come in, he hugs each one of you as you come in. And he's he's a Tabaxi, he's slim. He's not that tall. He's average height, but he's not massively tall. But as each of you come in, it's a bit funny for you, Lovelaw, because he's like it's this little cat sort of draping himself on you, getting his hands around here and kind of slapping you, and he doesn't really know what to do with you, so he just sort of goes for it, and there's a sort of a wobbling as he looks each of you, and each of you as you're coming in is a bit strange. And there's no airs or graces with him. He just hugs each of you. Come on. You come on through. And I mean, this is a very simple, very basic space. You have a kitchen area. It's pretty much a one-room place. You have a kitchen area and you have a bed. And you see that Raras is in bed, laid down.
Could I have purchased a decent bottle of wine on the way?
No, you simply half-inched one from someone else.
Very good.
He doesn't want. Yeah. There were some bottles lined up, so you helped yourself to one. And you walk in, and the first thing you do is you pop the cork out. You'd actually got you right. You produce a corkscrew, and pop the cork, and you hand it to what you think must be the grandson.
Yep.
Raras looks old, just very, very, very old. You knew he was. I mean, he's bloody ancient for a Tabaxi anyway. And you can see that he's dying. Yeah, he is. He's very old, and he's on his deathbed. And there's nothing really wrong with that, because it is what it is. He's had a very full life, as you know. But he greets each of you. Now, he says, told me you'd come back. And he looks at you, Shaggy, particularly. He looks right at you. And that you would tell me stories. Oh. And for some reason, I haven't had to pay for my drinks or my food for... Wow. Since I saw you last, he says. And an eyebrow goes up and he looks at you, Shaggy.
My eyebrow goes up as well.
Eyebrow.
Well, maybe you have an amazing benefactor. Have you been sleeping around, old man? Have you got yourself a sugar mama?
Just sleeping.
Oh, bless you.
So, tell me. What did you find? Tell me stories.
Okay, well, are you sitting comfortably?
We have some tales to tell.
No, seriously, is the mattress comfy, or do you want me to mend it? Is there anything we can do to make you more comfortable?
Not really.
Okay. Then in that case,
It's,
JL
His
will tell
grandson
you.
gets glasses and you pour wine and you drink and you talk.
Yeah.
I
And he's
suppose, but I was going to say we could cut scene and let Shaggy and I stay here and wax poetic with the guy and let the other guys and our team go shop or get hats or whatever they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
In
even
reality,
I'll
could
stay
be
there
someone
on
who's
my
going
own
to
and
produce-
just tell the stories of
produce
what
a
we
large
did.
box and say, "Here, I bought you all a hat each as a reward." A very large hat, but I just thought, you know.
Well, I mean, I could divvy up the cash if people want to go and
Yeah,
do stuff.
we're not going to. I don't think unless you particularly want to play this out. I was just going to sort of, you know, leave it as you spent a pleasant afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll play some of its
recognizing
card games.
that he is dying. That you saved his life. Varo, you saved his life, and you gave him some extra time. You gave him enough time for his grandson to arrive, and then as the afternoon wears on, more Tabaxi keep kind of popping in, and you realise that he has this extended family, and that this extended family are all they greet, you know, every single one of them is the same. They all come and they greet you. They these big hugs, and they really kind of, you know, they've heard these stories about you and about the things that you've done and all this sort of stuff. So the stories that you've told him, he's passed on, and he's described each of you and the things that you've done, and you just get this whole impression of this Tabaxi, who, you know, you thought of as being alone. You know, he said he had friends here at Craxis, but you didn't realise he had this extended family, and they all seem to be coming from all quarters to come and see him in his last days, and it is incredibly heartening for you because you gave him that opportunity which he wouldn't otherwise have had.
Very good.
Do I think that by doing exactly the same that Varo did that night, would it give him any longer, or would it?
Right.
Well, yeah, basically, if I just cured wounds or what have you, would it give him more time, or do
No.
I think that it's not going to do what?
There's no healing him now. He's not. He's not injured.
Yeah, you can't heal old age.
Old. He's just his body is just very, very, very old.
Okay.
You know, he is genuinely an ancient specimen, and therefore it's the end of his life, and it's very much natural, and none of you feel bitter or angry about it. It is just what it is. And, you know, clearly people are coming from all over to see him and to spend time with him at the end of his life. And what you feel is this joy of celebration. You feel that sadness and that tinge of sadness, but you feel this joy of celebration that's how the Tabaxi do it. That when life is ending, they come together. Before it's ended rather than after.
Well, we shan't hog all the time. Let us be considerate, Shaggy.
Yeah, I mean it's more than welcome. It becomes this incredible sort of celebration of him as a person and of his life, and you hear all sorts of stories about the things he got up to, and you learn more about his naval prowess, Lovelaw, which is of particular interest to you. Something that he mentioned before.
I lean into Lovelaw and I go, I think we should actually get enough drink and food to see the Tabaxis through at least tonight and tomorrow, so that they can have a good celebration. That's a thing, isn't it?
I think out of our share, we could definitely. I'm sure that they're bringing in platters and plates and things like that.
People are turning up with things. Yeah,
we could supplement.
Yeah, that's a thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, you get some drinks and some food sent once you've left as well. So that's fine.
Okay, very good.
All right. So, does anybody want to do anything particularly before you head back to the ship?
Dale thought of something she was interested in. She wants to go and see if she can find a bag of tricks again.
Okay. Can we come back to shopping?
Yeah.
In a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing she's got in her mind. Yeah.
Shopping is something we can do. Yep, not a problem.
She'll go back and get changed into something a bit more.
Yeah. Okay. So you head back.
Market worthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You head back to the ship and you get changed and it's kind of early evening and you're thinking about what you're going to do, and Lovelaw's clearly and obviously getting antsy. He obviously wants to go out, and you've had a chance. I mean, you ate with the Tabaxi anyway, and you've eaten well, you've drunk well. It's nice to be back in port and have some time and some space. And you're actually about to kind of head out for an evening of debauchery. Sorry, an evening of celebration. And this halfling kind of bustles up to the ladder. Well, actually, it's like a gangplank that you've got that you've laid down. And the halfling comes bustling up. She's very young. Hello. In fact, it's funny actually, Lovelaw, because you're the first one who spots her, because you're on deck. But everyone else, because of the orb, you communicate that there's this halfling coming. Oh, hello. I'm looking for Varo.
Why?
This note says we found his halfling. Not me. Something about a halfling with an iron helmet. He was looking for this halfling.
Yeah.
I remember, was that the halfling that assaulted the Tabaxi?
That's right. The halfling that stabbed Raras. Yeah.
Oh, well remembered.
Was wearing a strange iron hat.
That's it. Yes.
And who did you beseech to go seek this guy out? How did you?
I can't remember. I don't remember.
Yeah.
At the name of the halfling being found, all of a sudden there's 5 extra faces looking around Lovelaw. Huh? Where?
Discussing it. Yeah.
What's going on? Where is it?
Okay.
Nice to know what that was about.
Xander said that I should come and find you.
Xander.
Said where you were. So you're looking at insight checks, everybody. Oh no, perception actually. Hang on, perception. I think.
Well, I would like to do an insight check as well because I think that she might be misleading me. But I'll also do a perception
No,
check.
you
as
don't
well.
need an insight. You just need perception.
Perception. Why have I got advantage on perception?
Varo's just dribbling in the corner.
No.
Sentinel Shield's given me it. I don't know.
Hmm.
18. Gonna quickly look at the shield because I don't know why it's. Oh yeah, no.
Let's see if I
It's
can
initiative
get this.
rolls and perception checks. The shield is emblazoned with the symbol of an eye. Okay, so yeah, the 18 stands.
You get advantage because of what? Sorry.
My shield.
Cool. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, initiative and perception. I thought it might have been for spotting.
Shaggy, you're subject to JL.
Yeah.
How come she's got muddy boots? You say to JL.
Oh, how come she's got muddy boots?
And JL says, and she's got mud under her fingernails as well. Have you noticed? A farmer? You look at each other.
We put her to sleep. Maybe this is the halfling that
Too
we're
far
looking for.
away, Lovelaw. She's all the way down there. She's too small.
Yeah.
So, right, you do you want to follow me? Are you Varo?
Megan points to Varo.
I point to JL.
I point to Monty.
Besides, look. Haha.
No,
Have fun with a character. I get it.
No, I
right.
am Varo.
Says they're an elf.
I identify as an elf.
So
Come on.
are we following this halfling?
Do you want
Are
to
we
see?
following
Do
this
you
halfling?
want me
Yes.
to take you or not?
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
All right.
Yes.
Everyone's had their fun. I'm Varo.
Right, follow me. She
Go.
she walks around the corner and around into this sort of side street that you've not been down before.
Oh, Monty is with me.
And then she turns right and starts going down these steps. Okay. Covered. Walks down these steps, kind of into the bowels of the earth, as it were. All right, okay, where's this going? And you walk down and down. Steps switch back on themselves, and then there's some storerooms and areas, and down some more steps. And then you turn, and then you flip, and you realise that you're on the flip of the gravity plane. And she flips over, and then you kind of go up these steps. So you literally flip from going down, turn or over, and now you go up some steps, and you come out, and you're on the underside of Craxis, an area that you've never seen before.
No.
And I mean, actually, it's sort of it's kind of semi within a cave. There's a big opening at one end, and effectively it's nighttime, and the way that the Craxis is angled, the star is kind of just drifting away so that you it's becoming kind of dark in here. Actually, it's because of the movement of the belt that gives Craxis, and Craxis has this slow rotation. But there's light flooding in here, and you realise you're in this vast area with all of these really neat kind of, I mean, they're fields, for want of a better way of putting it. And it all looks like crop space, very tightly managed. You see little paths. It's all very neatly divided up. Everything is kind of obviously quite intense agriculture, and there's all of the agricultural things everywhere that you'd expect. And she leads you kind of through down these various paths, and you see that it's that elf again, that elf with the very pale skin and the white hair. It's very slight, in fact. And you realise that he's dressed in very practical work clothes, as she is. Xander, this one is Varo. And he looks at you and he says, Varo. And he looks at the halfling and just sort of inclines his head slightly. Oh, sorry, Varo. Says Varo. Oh. Do excuse me. And she turns and she wanders off. He waves. He sort of holds his hand up towards you, and you see his hands are muddy. Excuse me. I won't shake hands. You were looking for a halfling with a strange iron hat. This way.
He assaulted a friend of ours.
He won't be assaulting anyone else. And he leads you again through this maze of paths across these through this area, these fields and acres of crops, all, you know, very, very tightly put together. You see that there is a complex irrigation system here. There's, you know, it's set up basically to be effectively a very large kitchen garden. In fact, we had a problem with one of our drainage and return ditches, and when we got in there, this is what we found. And he takes you down here, and you actually kind of way over, like in one corner, and it's getting a bit dark and dingy. And he pulls up a lantern, holds it up. Here we are. And you can see in the bottom of the ditch, they've obviously cleared a load of stuff out, debris out. And lying in the ditch is the body of a halfling, kind of in the bottom. And you can see this strange iron helmet hat. We didn't touch him. We'll leave that to Orax, his team. But Orax suggested that you would want to know. Perhaps you can investigate?
Have a look.
I stand back and keep watch just to make sure no one's sneaking up on us while they do the investigation.
So yeah, Varo will head down. Let's have a good search. Search of the body, look for anything out of place.
So perception for me then, yeah?
Yeah. I'm going to use a bardic inspiration.
Okay, sounds good.
So perception plus a D8.
if you weren't the suspicious type, there's no question in your mind that you would think that this was a robbery, that someone had been robbed. This body has been cleaned. Every identifying, distinguishing mark has been removed. But the clothes have been left on, and there's this helmet. But other than that, pockets are empty. There's not even a lint in them. There's no bag. There's nothing. All been stripped off. And it's been removed. There's no question in your mind. It's been removed. The odd thing is the helmet. I think this halfling is lying face down. Kind of sort of half in and half out of the water. Body smells bad. It's decayed. It's been here a while.
How long do we think that while is?
Let's take the hat off.
Okay. It takes some effort to get off. Initially, as you're pulling at it, you think that it's to do with the decay. But then you realise that it's not. You realise this thing has been is magically attached in place. You realise that what you're holding is some kind of magical focus. There's no question. You can feel the magic in this thing. Detect magic?
Yes. Yep. Going to do a detect magic.
Okay. This is enchantment magic.
Mm-hmm.
Like a charm.
Okay.
Is the elf still hanging out?
Yeah,
Watching what we're doing?
he's standing some way off. He's watching, but he's got this lantern that he's holding up.
So he's definitely
Not getting involved. He's just stood off to one.
he's definitely seen Varo do a little song and dance thing for himself, and then I don't know, verbal somatic something or other. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not the idea that somebody might cast a spell is not alien to it.
no,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, verbal and somatic, yeah. So, yeah.
And he told
Few
us to
words and a
investigate, so,
gesture or two.
he's expecting us to do this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't have speak with dead or anything similar.
Yes.
No. About looking for tattoos.
Yes.
Tattoos, markings on chest, arms, neck, behind the ear.
I mean, looking at the hands, are they calloused or smooth? Are the nails well trimmed?
No. You would. I mean, as best you can tell, obviously there's some decay, but as best you can tell, this halfling is probably was probably a cross person, probably, you know, maybe a leather worker, could be a cobbler, or possibly a tailor. They're sensibly dressed. You know, their clothing is practical, but good quality.
Mm-hmm.
So not JL levels of I'm rich, look at me. or Varo levels of look at my style. Yeah, probably more like the kind of gear that Megan and well, not so much Lovelaw, but Megan is wearing, right? Practical, good quality clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want to take a quick break?
Okay, cool. Be right back.
So
Varo's in the ditch investigating.
Varo he's pulled the helmet out and look at that.
Okay, so
That's disgusting. He's done what? He pulled the helmet out. Put that back in your pants.
Have we started filming again, by the way?
Aristine. Where did that come from? Oh, I'm
Bullet train.
clipping that fucker.
Something, put your helmet back in your trousers. Yeah.
What was in that teepee?
wow.
I once
the tea in the afternoon. Yeah.
Sorry to digress. Yes, we are recording, and yes, that was caught, and yes, I'm keeping it in.
So Xander sort of wanders over at one point, and he kind of looks at the body of the halfling, and he looks at you, and you're stood there, sort of mucky hands and holding this helmet. Ooh. Do you need anything, or perhaps can I go?
Sorry. Yes, please. You can be about your business. Thank you very much for letting us know what you found.
How did you get down here?
Good question. What are the? Is it a restricted area for people?
Well, it's not easy to find your way down here unless you know where you're going. Wouldn't come down here casually.
And I take it he doesn't frequent this place, this farmland area.
I don't know who he is.
No, I mean he's certainly not a farmer from his looks, and
it's not one of my team. I would know about it.
Yeah.
If he was one of my team.
Do I
missing anybody here?
Can I tell what the cause of death was?
You think he was drowned?
Okay.
You think someone put him in the ditch and held him down?
I guess we've mucked around all the other marks that would have been here. Tracks.
Well,
yeah, I mean they've obviously cleared a bunch of stuff out. There was obviously some debris thrown on top of the body, and they've cleared that all out. So it's difficult to, track what might otherwise be there.
Is it in a tunnel?
No. You're in what is effectively like a half cave, which is basically the underneath of Craxis, right? You're at the edge, so there is a rock wall that comes up, just sort of over to your right. There's this big rock wall that comes up, and there's basically it's a ditch. It's a drainage ditch.
Okay.
It's got this much water in the bottom. It's not like it's not super deep, like fast flowing or anything like that.
Do these ditches ever flood, or do you flood them to get water around the fields?
No, we manage the water flows pretty much as you can see. Doesn't go much deeper than that.
Are there any other
water through, but we don't use it very often for that.
Sorry, Xander, I know you want to get on, but are there any other ways in and or out of this area? So the water must come in from the drainage somehow, from up top. So could the body have floated and then rested
Pretty much
here?
a closed cycle, in fact.
It's a closed cycle.
We have a lake at the other end,
Mm-hmm.
a small reservoir, and we manage the water flow around here.
So, in your expert opinion, as guardian of this area or warden of this area, do you think that he got into this area and then passed, or do you think it could be that he was dropped in the reservoir and then the body floated down to here?
No, it couldn't float down this far. I get what you're saying, but that's not possible.
He was definitely he end of life was definitely in this proximity.
Well,
Probably.
was he drowned here, or was he drowned somewhere else and put in
And then
here?
dumped here, yeah.
I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't know.
So if we take the premise of him dying elsewhere and then dumped, can anyone get into this area if they know how to get here?
You walked in here.
Yes. But I didn't know that this place existed before we were shown.
You were guided.
Yes.
There are people here on Craxis who know this area, but we don't generally find people wandering around down here.
No.
It's hard to get here for a start. You have to know the way. You have to know the switch on the gravity plane. So you have to know where you're going and what you're doing. And most importantly of all, you asked the question, how many access points there are? The answer is 6.
Wow.
There are 4, like the stairs you came down to get here. And then there's a larger freight stairwell, which we generally use for moving larger boxes of produce and larger items up and down. And then there's also a shaft.
Can I ask how many people work here? So if an intruder did come into here, would they not be observed?
It's hard to tell. I have a team of 24. And then me.
And you work in an area of, what, a mile? 2
You're
miles?
looking at about, well, no, I mean, Craxis is about, Craxis is about roughly a mile radius, so just over. It's about 2.5 miles across. And most of this, it's about 5 square miles. It's actually slightly less than that, but,
Was he killed here? I say to myself, why not just overpower him and stab him in a back alley up on top side? Why? You would almost think that the halfling came down here on his own and then was attacked as an opportunity. Because why would you bring this person all the way down here to drown them and cover them with brush when you could whack them on the head and wall them up or jettison them in space or whatever? So with that as a thought, the halfling came down here either to hide out or had a reason to be down here.
For a clandestine meeting or something, maybe.
Could be.
But maybe
GIF.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, mate, you go.
But Lovelaw, maybe the halfling didn't actually know what he was doing.
Mhm.
Lovelaw's already said that the helmet. Lovelaw. Varo's. Did you tell us that it had a charm on it? Enchantment.
I would have done, yeah.
Okay, so we know he more than likely would have been charmed to hurt the Tabaxi, and then
It
he was
could be.
compelled to come down here and or go somewhere else, and then he was dumped.
Mhm.
I mean, and I say this in front of Xander. Am I compelled to find out who killed the lowlife that hurt the Tabaxi? No, he's dead. Why? Suspicious, yes, but fuck it, he got what he deserved. Is it going to be a mystery that's going to plague my mind forever and a day? More than likely, because I wanted to take revenge on the bugger myself. But you know, yeah, I don't know.
I do wonder if this enchantment helm was something he was willingly wearing, or was it something that was forced upon him to control him to do something?
That's my question. That's my question. Yeah.
Put it on.
I think let's take the body with us. So if we can get, can we ask for
that
a
is
box
not
that
going inside me.
A box that we can put the body in.
You're talking to Xander and you're having this conversation, and you can hear these footsteps approaching, these heavy footsteps approaching, and the gift that you saw earlier at Salam's apartment comes around the corner, and he sees you, and he can see him. He nods, and he sort of, you can see him calculating as the group of you are stood there. You must be Varo, he says, walking up to Varo.
I am.
I put my hand on my
Very
chest
good.
and start to say, "No, I am the real Varo." But I recognise who it is, and I don't bother because.
Apologies, it has taken me some time to get here. I hoped to be here earlier, but I was detained. Xander, thank you for your time. Xander nods. Orax? And he turns and
What did he call him?
Zorax.
Orax.
Orax.
Okay.
So, what are your conclusions, Varo?
Well, the helmet's interesting. It has some sort of enchantment magic on it.
Controlled, then, you think?
Perhaps. That's what I'm wondering. And from the looks of his clothes and his hands and things like that, I'm thinking a professional, a craftsperson, something along that sort. I wonder if anyone's gone missing.
Isn't the first halfling we've seen with the magically attached object either? When we first docked, there was that one with the scrap of paper in his hand that kept blanking its memory when we tried to get rid of it.
Oh, with the curse, the map. I'm sure you know about him.
I thought he was a human.
Thought it was a halfling, but I could be wrong. It was a long time ago.
I mean, he could have been a very small human.
Right.
Yes.
So somebody playing on the halflings, do you think?
No. It would be useful if we could
But why
get someone to cast Speak with Dead.
why compel?
Solan.
Ooh.
You speak of Solan.
Solan.
Scroll. That poor bugger. Yes. If only someone could help him.
Well, I was going to, but it seemed funnier to let him carry on with the map.
This is not like Solan. This individual, I believe, is not from here. If he were, I fear someone would have missed him by now. That means he came on a ship. Probably already with this. He reaches over and he sort of tunk against the helmet with this already attached.
I guess we can ask around the docks, see if the port master remembers anything like that.
Actually, that's a very interesting question. In most towns and cities across the belt and everywhere, they all have different types of fashion, different ways of securing things, and so somebody from Craxis, born and bred, will more than likely have certain coloured garments or wear a certain hat, okay. Whereas somebody from somewhere else may have a different type of hat. Have we seen any evidence to back that up, John?
Well,
How do you mean?
Right, so if you go into London, Londoners, although they dress kind of the same, they would dress kind of different to somebody that's from a rural area.
Right.
And I'm not saying tweed jackets and shit like that, but out in the sticks, you dress for warmth.
Or
In
just
London,
material.
where the wind gets buffeted by high-rise buildings and things like that, they may not have to have woolies on and shit like that.
I mean, if you look at the leather of this belt, for example, that would have come from a creature. Creatures are natives to certain planets or areas.
But you can import
You
those.
may be able to get tonight. Yes, true, but would you? It's
No.
expensive to import a leather belt.
I would look
You know,
at
you
what's
tend
natural.
to,
Yeah.
this doesn't look like someone who wears fancy imported goods. This is someone who's looking for practical gear. Probably
So,
wears through
if he's
it.
an
So you'd be looking
off-worlder-
for a cheap local product.
So if he's an off-worlder, would we be able to discern roughly in which direction he came from?
Maybe we
Originally.
could take his clothes. If we took his clothes to an expert in
Fashion?
Fashion.
We got
a
JL.
tailor or a leather worker,
We got
might be able
JL.
to identify where this work came from.
Yep, we've got JL.
Even things like stitching.
Yeah,
Various.
JL.
Let me get this body hauled out of here.
Okay. I mean, I was just thinking that might be something that might give us all a clue as to where this person came from.
It's an excellent thought. Let me see if I can get someone to.
I hold on to Lovelaw,
Investigate this
elbow
further.
when he says that, and I look at Lovelaw. I had an excellent thought.
That you did.
My God,
Did it hurt?
I think I need to lie down.
Varo, what's out of place?
Me having
Happiness.
an excellent thought.
I'm trying to think what you described. Would be out of place. I mean, the fact the helmet is odd. I mean, his body looks like it's been cleaned. Someone has gone through his pockets, taken all of his identifying objects.
But they left the helmet.
But they did leave the helmet, which is strange.
Very.
You said the helmet was attached.
Well, not that difficult to get off.
It was pretty gross the way that you pulled it off. Really honest.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's because he's dead and rotten that you were able to pull it off.
Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough then. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no clumps of lint either, was there? So basically, even his pockets were methodically cleaned.
Yes.
Mm.
That's right.
Is there a spell that can do that? If there is, can we try and learn it so that we can keep the ship clean and tidy?
Monty does that.
No, Monty makes half the mess.
He's always leaving little oil patches all over the place.
Yeah. Terrible. I don't know why we keep him, to be fair, but, you know, Lovelaw likes him.
So, I'll get the body extracted and I'll see what I can find out. Enjoy your evening. I'll send someone to find you in the morning.
But I said I wasn't going to think about this halfling, and now all that I'm doing is thinking about him.
Varo's going to very carefully clean his hands, fastidiously clean his hands.
I move well away from Varo, just in case he gets the urge to sink them in me.
Some soap if you want it.
Why would someone go to so much trouble to kill an old Tabaxi?
Well, that's the thing.
Well, to kill the Tabaxi and then to cover up. I mean, what we're speculating is that this halfling was kidnapped from somewhere,
Kidnap someone,
charmed, brought here, and then
magic.
brought here, used to kill a Tabaxi, then killed themselves with this expensive magic item left behind on them.
What
A
if?
lot of things not adding up.
What if this halfling was inquisitive, put the helmet on, got mind controlled like a mind flayer does to people, wanted to take Lovelaw down because of war crimes or something like that, noticed the Tabaxi that we befriended, and then decided to get us engaged by attacking the Tabaxi, knowing full well that Lovelaw and his blob would not stand for it. And the halfling was a pawn in all of it, and somebody's got it in for, and the poor old Tabaxi was just an innocent bystander in everything, and it's just a cunning plot. And maybe it's the people that were on the metal ship.
Well, that map was really particularly valuable to someone else.
Yeah. Strange.
We got a lot of unanswered why have things happened, and
Yes.
it's not hard even for me to be able to put a link in, and I'm more than likely completely wrong, like I normally am, but it's so easy to link everything together. It's far too easy. And
So we just need to do a
sometimes,
bit more investigation on this helmet.
yeah, sometimes the easier the answer is, the more plausible it is, and the more realistic it is, I find.
Well, we have a lot of courses of action we can take up.
Yeah.
Maybe get to a magic shop, find us a wizard of some sort that'll talk to us about the helmet.
You can
Ask
speak with
around
the
the
dead.
docks.
Find somebody you can speak with dead.
Be handy. You think that would almost be standard practice here for the?
Well, if we gain a level anytime soon, I can pick it up.
Which, funnily enough,
Ah,
You're about to gain a level.
Da, da, da.
I think we should pick up our investigation on the morrow.
After a good night's rest. Refreshing
Yes.
good night's rest on our ship.
Oh hell no! I'm
Look
going
what April was
into
doing. I
into
don't
an
know
inn.
why.
After Varo tells us how much gold we got.
Yes, I can do that. We have each from our last adventure. We got 2 lots. We got 600 gold pieces of gems and 20 platinum pieces.
That's an extra
What,
200.
No,
That's-
so that's 800 divided by 5, which I believe would be 160.
I'll take 100 and put 60 in the ship coffers.
So if you want,
So that should
I
keep
mean,
the ship
it's-
coffers up for quite a bit now.
it's yeah, that's it. That's, and then obviously we got some items, but I think they've already been divvied up.
What were they?
Can you
Oh
see
no,
this?
sorry,
can you see
not
this
from the
screen all
last.
right?
No, from the last session. That's all we've actually only got.
Just a thin
Yeah,
edge.
we only got some money from the Crimson Sun ship. That was it. We got nothing else, I believe.
Well, we also got a brand new ship, which is bigger and slightly
Oh
faster.
yeah, I
than,
mean, don't get me wrong.
Wasp.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We
I've
haven't
got a
actually
weird-
done any. We haven't done any searching around this ship yet. We haven't had a chance to do that yet,
No, not yet.
which we really
That's
should
your
do.
ship.
'Cause, you know,
Image-wise, I've got I've just got like a vertical line.
Everyone, I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Safe trip,
Good night.
Anthony.
Yes,
Night
indeed.
all.
yeah.
Yeah.
safe-
If you got all the way to the end, we appreciate your support. Thank you for watching the NVRA whilst we bring you content of different games. If you like what we have done, please like and subscribe.